What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Credit Plug channel, where we talk about how to build credit, how to establish relationships with banks and financial institutions, and most importantly, how to get you access to high limit credit funding. So for today's video, we have a testimonial. Now, this is a testimonial of a client of Crown Credit Pro, Mr. Jordan Ellis, aka Mr. Game 6. A lot of you are familiar with him, but I wanted to share this testimonial. Actually, Jordan is going to be sharing this testimonial with you guys on his experience with Crown Credit Pro. Now, as I mentioned in a lot of videos, it's very important to consider your credit history before you start applying the credit, because if you have bad and derogatory remarks on your credit, that could prevent you from doing a lot of things like purchasing a home, buying a car, or financing any type of purchase, or getting a loan from the bank. Having a stellar credit history, meaning there's no derogatory items, no late payments, no collections, that's probably the most important thing that you want to consider when it comes to your credit profile and your credit history. Now, there's tons of different ways that you can go about cleaning up your credit profile. If you want to learn, you could definitely do some research of your own, but if you want to work with a reputable company that's been in the game for 20 years, then you could definitely check out Crown Credit Pro. Now, I'm not going to tout all about Crown Credit Pro. Their results speak for themselves, but I wanted to share with you a testimonial from Jordan. We provided you with the contact information. You reached out to Crown Credit Pro, made the investment in yourself, spent the $2,000. And I just wanted to share, for those who might be on the fence, I know $2,000 may sound like a lot of money, but when it comes to your credit score, your credit history, having good credit gives you more options, more possibilities. Having bad credit, a bad reputation, reduces the possibilities and reduces the options. So if you're trying to rent an apartment or finance a vehicle or anything that's going to require credit, having good credit is always going to put you in a better position. So I want you to share with the people, with the subscribers, your overall experience going through the process.
Absolutely, and definitely thank you for the opportunity to share to the audience. And I mean, you hit on a lot of points right there. Just from a financial literacy perspective, there was a lot that I didn't know as it pertained to credit, and what I meant from like the history, like late payments, delinquent accounts, like those were a lot of things that were holding me back a little over a year ago. And then when I saw Credit Plug and Crown Credit Pro doing their thing, it was definitely the best $2,000 investment I ever made, for sure. And they were able to remove a lot of my hard inquiries, my late payments and delinquent accounts, and it cleared my TransUnion and my Equifax to zero. Experience, everything shot up, and what it's done for me over the past year and a half, I've been able to have things financed, like my maintenance on my car, get approved for more lines of credit and installment loans than I've had in my entire life. And that wouldn't have happened without those certain data points, those negative data points being removed and positive data points being implemented. And just from that experience, I learned so much. And when I talk about generational teachings, these are things I can pass down, to my kids, my future grandkids and stuff like that when they come of age. So they never experienced the hardships of having, not just bad credit, because even you can have a great credit score, but having a lot of, negative inquiries like late payments or delinquent accounts, it can really set you back. And that's what leads to a lot of, declines from lenders, financial institutions, and not knowing that a year and a half ago while I was still applying for credit and not knowing why I was getting declined. I'm knowing that now, and just being able to have more access and more leverage is really just not just changed life, but just really changed my family going forward for the future, man. So it's been a wonderful experience, not just from what we have available to us now, but what we're able to provide and teach to people who may be going through a similar walk through life, and we can be able to reach down and bring somebody up with a thought process that I've learned from you guys. And I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to just be a student of the game, because I wish I had this thought process while we were in school, definitely while we were in school and coming out of school. So now, now is, I would say, the best time to take a look at what you're working with get in contact with these guys, and they will definitely steer you in the right direction as they did for me and so many others that are subscribed to the channel.
Absolutely, and definitely appreciate you sharing that with us. I think it would be compelling for someone who's actually gone through the process. Myself, I've gone through Crown Credit Pro, and they've been able to help me tremendously with getting some things off of my credit profile. Even someone with good credit, right? That doesn't mean that there might be an account or inquiries that you might need to get taken off of your credit report. Crown Credit Pro can handle any type of situation. I've seen all types of different scenarios with different clients who may have had bankruptcies, may have had repossessions, even child support, which I didn't even know that can come off your credit report. So you touched on a couple important things, and one thing in particular you touched on is operating. When you're trying to get funding from a financial institution, you have to make sure that you're approaching that situation with the best data points as possible. Now, what I see sometimes is, let's say someone might have some derogatories and they're still applying to these different lenders trying to get approvals. Well, when you do that, you got to think of it, because with anything, you want to put your best foot forward, right? You don't want to come to a financial institution seeking a loan or seeking to borrow money, but the data points that you have suggest otherwise. Because if you have derogatory accounts, repos, late payments, from a lender's perspective, that represents risk, because you have information, data on your report that suggests that you may not be timely with your payments. Now, if you're not timely with your payments, that's never a good thing, because you don't want cash flow to be interrupted, and neither do financial institutions, right? Especially for-profit banks and lenders. They're trying to reduce their risk. So the best thing you can do is really prepare your data points where you don't have any delinquencies, any derogatories. Because right off the bat, like, regardless of looking at your average age of credit, your utilization, before you even get to that point, the first thing they're going to be looking at is your payment history. So the payment history tells a behavior. If your behavior suggests that you may not be on time with repaying the money that you borrow, then that's just going to put you at a disadvantage when it comes to getting approved for different types of accounts, credit cards, loans, and so forth. So definitely look into your credit profile before you start applying to a lot of different institutions. I see this sometimes where someone may not have any positive data points and they're still applying, praying and hoping that somehow you sneak through the system. But the best thing that you can do is get your profile clear of any derogatories. And in my opinion, Crown Credit Pro is the best company I've worked with. And trust me, I've worked with a handful of different credit restoration, credit repair companies. And a lot of you who are probably watching this video who signed up with Crown Credit Pro before can definitely vouch. Now, and again, you could always go about, disputing things yourself. In certain situations, it might be more efficient to defer to someone who does this day in and day out, right? Because I went that route myself, disputing things, got a little bit of results, but definitely not at the professional level as a Crown Credit Pro. Of course, it's an investment, but having bad credit, it's going to cost more. When you think about the missed opportunities, the denials, the higher interest rates, and the lack of choices, credit is essentially your financial reputation. So the best thing that you can do is get your credit restored. Do you have any parting words with the subscribers before we head out?
Man, again, just grateful that you guys were able to not just impact a lot of people, but really just pour into them in a way that we're changing the way that generations are thinking about their finances going forward. And everything you touched on, I could raise my hand to a lot of those things. I didn't even know that I was applying for things that had hard pulls. Didn't even know what that was a couple years ago. So I was wondering why things were still ticking down. But just understanding how credit works and just understanding that what it can do for you, it's a complete game changer. So if you haven't already, definitely seek consultation. No one man is an island. And doing it by yourself doesn't mean you're going to do it the best. You always got to adhere to somebody who may be, 5, 10, 15 years down the road in experience. And these guys definitely have that. And my best advice is just, man, learn from gained experience, man. So again, thank you for the opportunity to share, and thank you for the opportunity to, have more opportunities in life.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you definitely sharing that testimonial with our subscribers. Now, and again, if anyone wants to seek out Crown Credit Pro, their information is linked in the description of the video as well as pinned in the comment section. Until next time, take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.